Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about choose your reaction to what life sends your way. So most of the time when a major or even a minor event is thrown our way, we simply react to it, right? I mean, there's not a lot of thought process behind it. It's just something we do naturally. We just react. But by thinking about how you want to react rationally, you can get better control of your life. There's very few instances in which a knee-jerk reaction is a good thing. When a difficult situation arises, stop and think about what the appropriate reaction is and how you should react. We don't always have any control over what happens to us in our lives or throughout our day, but we do have full control over how we react, right? We have control over us. So you can control your response to anything if you just take some time to think about it. If you just stop for just a second and say, before I react, let's see, how should I react to this, right? And when you choose how you want to react to a situation, you hold all of the power. You hold all that power in that moment. So for instance, if you step outside to head to work on a Monday morning and it's raining, for many of us, the natural response might be, damn, it's raining, right? And then the natural reaction often influences the way we think and feel and act the rest of the day. You know, you might think the weather gods are against you and you arrive at work feeling a little bit irritated. And this feeling might flow into how you interact with your colleagues and how productive you are. Hi, Karen, good to see you. And so basically a circumstance outside of your control, the rain, has negatively influenced your emotions and your ability to operate effectively in the world for the rest of the day, or maybe for an hour or so, or maybe for a little while after, right? But fortunately, as humans, we have the unique ability to choose our response to any set of circumstances. So if it's raining outside, you can choose to set aside your natural response and instead think, I have an umbrella and this rain is going to do wonderful things for my garden. I'm going to grab my umbrella and have a productive day at work. Simple, right? So the problem is when you don't actively choose your responses, you live in a reactive state and you're at the whim of the unpredictable external realities of life. When you're in this reactive state where your happiness and effectiveness are a function of the circumstances outside of your control, you become sort of a victim. You know, the circumstances are out of your control, but the way you react to it isn't. You have control of that, right? So if someone does something with the intention of upsetting you or making you angry, like just say, for instance, maybe you have a customer who rants at you that your product is horrible and that they want a refund 60 seconds after they just bought it, right? You being able to respond to it calmly takes away their power. You know, your life is no longer going to be dictated by the things happening around you. Nothing can make you feel a way that you don't want to. Nobody can control your emotions but you. Nobody. By taking the reins, you live a happier, more satisfying life by being able to look at the bright side of things. So immediate reactions are usually irrational, and irrational reactions can get you into a lot of trouble. So here's another example. So let's say you're driving to work and you're getting tailgated on the highway, right? And you automatically get upset and you start to see that car behind you as an enemy and you try to get them away from you, or you want to get even with them, right? And maybe you hit your brakes or whatever. I don't know. You're getting even. You're like, who do you think you are, right? I've done that. Guilty, sorry. But hey, in the process of trying to respond with anger, you could be distracted by their presence and you could crash. Or you could even cause a worse kind of altercation, right? Hopefully that doesn't turn into a scarier situation, but you could also end up at work, arriving at work irritated, and then you go back to that whole thing about having a bad day that we were talking about with the rain, right? So instead, think about the simple solutions to solving the problem. You know, instead of reacting, you choose how you're going to react. What kind of solution would be the best solution to deal with whatever it is that's being thrown at you? And this applies to everyday life as well. If someone says something derogatory towards you, don't just try to fight them. just get away, just escape the situation and ignore it or whatever, and just know that you were the better person in that instance, right? So in some situations, though, the immediate reaction that you have is appropriate, such as maybe someone that is close to you dies, or you lose someone close to you, right? Those things happen. And yes, they're horrible. They really are. And you don't have to make that situation positive. It isn't a good situation. Somebody died, somebody left, whatever, they left you, you're grieving, whatever. You don't have to make that situation positive. I'm not saying you have to make everything positive. So for the emotions that follow, such as grief, choose how you're going to handle having those feelings. Maybe talk it out with a friend or a grief counselor rather than just putting it on the back burner. Or maybe you just need to take some time to grieve too. I mean, that's totally okay, provided that it's a decision you make and not a knee-jerk reaction, right? It's important to recognize the situations and the ones where you have hasty reactions are acceptable sometimes. And then there's situations which well thought out, controlled responses are preferable. Sometimes either one can be acceptable, so it's up to you to make that decision. So as you continue to actively practice this principle by taking responsibility for every circumstance you face, focus on what you can control, and then choose your response, you will begin to naturally think, feel, and act in a more solution-oriented, proactive manner. And as a result, you're going to be able to effectively process and respond to nearly every situation you face, and you're going to come out ahead. So whether it's a snide comment from a colleague, or road rage on the freeway, or dealing with this crazy COVID-19 panic, you're going to be in control. And once you're in control, what you can achieve is only limited by your imagination. Seriously. So hi, Anitra. Good to see you. So I'd love to hear from you guys now. So do you tend to just react to things, or do you take the time to determine the appropriate reaction? What kinds of things help you to remember to choose your response rather than just reacting? So please get down in the comments and share with us. I would love to hear your stories. Thanks for Karen and Anitra for being live with me, and anyone else who might be live who just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching this replay. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.